Welcome back to the Brrrr Investor Podcast, where our mission is to empower aspiring real estate investors in their journey towards building generational wealth. So on today's episode, we have Isha with us. Isha is a working professional and a new homeowner and a new investor. So I recently helped Isha through the process of buying her first home and her first investment as a house hack. And she was very kind to be here with us so she can share a little bit about her journey and how that went about. So thank you for being here, Isha.
Of course.
Appreciate you.
Happy to be here.
Awesome. So let's start off by sharing a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to start your journey into real estate investing.
Yeah, so I currently work as a software engineer, 26 years old, so got into it young. But yeah, I definitely have been wanting to get into real estate investing for a while now. I think I first started looking into real estate investing probably during COVID because I was unemployed. I had nothing better to do with my time. And yeah, I just knew that I wanted to get into this at some point in my life to create generational wealth for myself and like for my future family and for my parents. And yeah, I was just really excited to kind of rip off the Band-Aid this year. That was like one of my goals, was that I buy my first property, and I was able to do that with your help. So yeah, I'm just super excited to finally be a part of the real estate investing group.
That is awesome. When you did start, thinking about that, what are the first steps that you took, when you decided you want to purchase your first property?
Yeah, I think for me, like before I knew I was like, financially ready to commit to this, it was, I need to make sure that when that time comes, I'm very well prepared to know what I'm getting myself into. So I spent a lot of time just listening to different podcasts, watching YouTube videos. I joined Brrrr Pockets. It's a forum for like real estate investors, agents, whatever, just to network with other people. And yeah, I think that was super helpful for me because I also used the forum to ask questions I had. And I think that is super important, is to just ask questions, because there's so much knowledge out there, and like you can watch as many podcasts and videos, but actually interacting with people who are investors and like picking their brain, I think that was something that really helped me. So, going to networking events and putting yourself out of your comfort zone.
And you did mention about, some of the resources that you found helpful, such as, meetups and events, podcasts, Brrrr Pockets. Brrrr Pockets is an amazing, platform, amazing community. I'm also a Brrrr Pockets member. There's a lot of knowledge there, a lot of help you can get, a lot of resources. And I think that's how you found out about our event, right?
Yes, yeah. I found the event through Brrrr Pockets, and it was right by my house. So I was like, I might as well just, pop in, stop by. And that was such a life-changing event for me to go to, because then I met you and, really helped me kind of get me through the finish line and kind of get me my first property. So that's was awesome. Yeah, Brrrr Pockets, shout out Brrrr Pockets.
Absolutely, yeah. So you found us on Brrrr Pockets, you came to our event. We do host 2 events every month, and you've been to both of them, and you've been consistently, and we really appreciate that. We initially met at the Studio City event. So we have 2 events. One of them is the last Monday of every month. It's at the Laurel Tavern in Studio City. And then the other one is in Pasadena, California at our office, and that's the first Tuesday of every month. They're both at 6:30 p.m. Check out our links or reach out if you have any questions and you want to join us. And they're on Eventbrite, so you can check out our Eventbrite page. So you feel that was helpful for you, that gave you some value, provided you with the next steps?
Yeah, definitely. I think the Laurel Tavern one, because that was the first one that I went to, I think that one was very helpful for me because it was more just kind of like networking, talking to different people. And I was able to meet another young woman who was also, trying to get into real estate investing on her own and like trying to figure it out. So we were actually messaging a lot and like trying to figure out, I was telling her like, okay, I think I'm going to do house hacking. So yeah, I think both events were really great for me to, go like mingle, network, and also just learn so much.
So you mentioned, the community is a very important thing to be a part of when you're, on this path. That's a great point.
Right.
So having the right team in place is crucial.
It's so important and such a crucial aspect in your journey, because without your help and without, you connecting me to different people, I wouldn't have been able to get this great opportunity and this great deal that I did. So awesome. Definitely thank you for that.
Of course, much appreciated. And I appreciate you for, trusting me and my team to help you with the process. So can you share, talk a little bit about some of the people, the key people that you met along the way and how they influenced or assisted you in your journey?
Yeah, I feel like for me, it was a lot just going to different events and meeting different agents. I think before I actually started looking for properties, I wanted to make sure that I was working with an agent that I felt really comfortable with and that I really trusted. So I had met a couple other agents, and I think for me, definitely having a good solid team, good agent, good lender, also support system in terms of who I'm surrounding myself with in an investor investor mindset. Like I wanted to have people around me that weren't just thinking about, okay, like she wants to buy a house, but she wants to buy a house as an investor. Things like that were important because I needed someone who had more knowledge than I did about, where can we add value? How can we strategize this to, reconfigure, maybe add a shower, maybe make this a separate, maybe convert the garage into an ADU. So just having the right network that can understand that was, I think, very important. And I think you were definitely one of the biggest people that I met to kind of help me in my journey.
And I can't really stop myself from like when I walk into a property, just start seeing the opportunities, the different things you can do with it. And, as you mentioned, you don't want somebody that's just looking to get another transaction, right? To close a deal, to make a commission and walk away, right? So what particular advice would you give someone who is just starting out and looking to purchase their first home or like investment property?
I would say just network. Like networking is so important. Like obviously, yes, the research and the knowledge and getting the information, I think everyone needs to do that. That's kind of like a given. You need to know what you're getting yourself into and make sure that it's the right path for you. But once you're at the point where you're like, okay, I know I want to do this, I think the biggest thing you can do as a first-time investor is just networking and picking everyone's brain. So yeah, I definitely think as a first-time investor, like do your due diligence, do your homework, do your research, listen to the podcast, do all of that, but also put yourself out of your comfort zone, go to networking events, talk to people, just pick anyone and everyone's brains, because there's just so, like all the knowledge that you see online, it's very helpful, but I think the most valuable knowledge you can get is just by having conversations with people that have already done this.
And of course, calling Alex and his team.
Yes, right? Of course. Alex is the best. So
now, going through the process, one thing I want to mention, like, do you feel that, working with someone really has done it themselves, like is an investor friendly realtor and, actively is investing as well? Do you feel that also contributed to your success and what you were able to accomplish? Did that help you get through the process better, or what do you think?
No, definitely.
Because I know you talked to many agents, as you
I
mentioned.
did talk to some agents that were, mainly agents that were just helping, families or anyone just buy like their first property, but not with an investor mindset. And I definitely saw a very huge difference in that. Like talking to agents that are investor friendly, that do invest themselves, they have the investor hat on. They know, okay, I think another great thing about working with an investor friendly agent is they know the risks, they know the fears, they know how to kind of help you through that process of minimizing that fears. Because even just working with you, like I remember I called you and I was like, going through like some personal issues, and I was like, I don't know if I should do this, like maybe we should slow it down. And I think you gave me that confidence and that push of like why this is the best time for me to do this, and kind of reassured me that I'm in a position that I can be successful in this. And I think another agent is not going to understand that, like what an investment property means, like, or how scary that can be, because anyone else that's just buying a house because they want to get their first home and that's their forever home, they have a different mentality and a different mindset. But I think working with an agent that does have investment properties is very helpful, because they can kind of guide you through what type of properties to be looking for, what like things to keep in mind, like whether that's location, school districts, what's nearby, grocery stores, transportation, things like that, where you don't necessarily have those certain conversations with other agents that don't have that hat on. And I definitely experienced that with talking to other agents that weren't as investor friendly.
Fear, uncertainty, doubt, it's a real deal, and you're going to go through it. And some people again are just going to push you to get the transaction, but if I felt like hey, this is not the right time for you, I would have done that. However, I knew what you were dealing with were things that were distracting you from your main goal. So, and I'm glad you were able to overcome that. So looking back, is there anything you would have done differently, and what are your future plans in real estate investing?
I think looking back, I wish I could have just gotten into sooner, honestly.
Right?
I wish I kind of didn't allow my fear and my anxiety to kind of get me to a point where it took me so long to get here, because I think I could have gotten into it earlier, probably with lower interest rates, but it's okay. But I think I would have just gotten into it earlier, just gone to more networking events and things like that, like earlier than I did. But at the same time, like everyone has their own path and their own journey. Absolutely. And I think I had to get myself to a position where I felt very confident to actually, do this. And I felt like, okay, that.
There's a big journey ahead for you. And, again, I really appreciate you coming out on your busy day to do this, because I feel this is going to provide a lot of value and, maybe help someone take initiative, take action. Someone that's probably listening to this is probably saying, if she can do it, why can't I? Right? And that's the truth. We all can do it. And, you do need the right help, the right support, and someone to understand your situation situation, not
Right.
just a general situation,
Yeah.
to help walk you through. So I think this is very, very beneficial. I appreciate you agreeing to, talk about the journey and your experience.
Of course.
It's really going to be helpful. So thank you so very much. And, I look forward to the next journey ahead.
Yes, continue to work with one another. So yeah,
Absolutely.
marathon's only beginning.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us on the Brrrr Investor Podcast. If you found today's episode helpful, please hit like and subscribe to our channel for more real estate insights. We love hearing from you, so please leave your thoughts, questions, or topics you'd like us to cover in the comment section below. Be sure to check out our website, thebrrrinvestor.com, and follow us on social media at The Brrrr Investor. Keep learning and investing, and we'll see you in the next episode. I'm your host, Nahle. Stay invested.